Hi guys, and welcome back to Belle's Books. I'm sat in a little bit of a different place today because I've got a little bit of a different video. So I'm quite excited about this one. I've never filmed anything literally like this before in my life. If you're on TikTok or if you're just on the internet in general, you'll have seen that right now there's trending this thing called ChatGPT, and basically it's like this AI bot on the internet. This is literally coming from someone who has no idea about anything, but you can have a conversation with it and it will be able to talk to you properly. So you can ask it quite a difficult question, it'll give you an answer, and then if you ask it a follow-up question, it'll remember what you've said. So it's almost like a real person. That's the vibe, basically. So I thought it'd be really fun as if what I did was I tried to get some book recommendations from ChatGPT. Then I could read them, rate them, and kind of see if it's any good, basically. That's my plan. That's where I think I'm going with this. I think maybe first of all I just need to ask it quite a basic question. So hey, can you give me a book recommendation? So let's see what it comes up with. It immediately asks me to narrow it down. So it says, sure, I'd be happy to help. Do you have any particular interests or preferences when it comes to book? That can help me narrow down my recommendation. Right, I think I'm in the mood for a romance, a cozy romance, okay? I'm in the mood for a cozy romance. So it says, in that case, I'd recommend The Notebook by Nicholas Sparks. It's a classic love story about a couple who falls in love in the 1940s and follows their relationship over the years. It's a sweet and poignant read that will leave you feeling warm and fuzzy. Let me know if you'd like to look up more information or if you have any other questions. Well, I've already read that, so I'm just going to tell it that. I've already read that. Do you have another recommendation? Okay, so then it's recommended to Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. It's a romantic story about a couple who falls in love, but it has a bit of a modern twist. The main character, Louisa, is hired to take care of a man named Will who is paralyzed from the neck down after a motorcycle accident. Despite the differences, they fall in love, heartwarming and emotional. Okay, I've also already read this. I am not the right person to be doing this because I've literally read everything. I've already read that book. Do you have another recommendation? I don't want a sad romance, because both of the romances it's suggested so far have actually been quite sad, and that is not what I meant by cozy. Okay, if you've already read The Notebook and Me Before You, this is what I was saying about remembering what you've said before, and you're looking for something similar but not as sad, I'd recommend Love, Rosie by Cecilia Ahern. It's a romantic comedy that follows the lives of two best friends, Rosie and Alex, who are constantly being pulled apart and brought back together by the twists and turns of life. Despite the many challenges they face, their friendship and love for each other remains strong. It's a funny and uplifting story that will make you smile. Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and buy that as a recommendation, I think. Before I go and read that, great, do you have any other recommendations? Okay, now it's gone completely rogue and it's just given me a list of the most popular romance books out there. So we've got Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, The Bronze Horseman by Paulina Simmons, and then we've got The Time Traveler's Wife. I think that this is only going to work for book recommendations if basically you're willing to narrow your options down yourself. You're going to have to guide it. Maybe a cozy Christmas book recommendation. Oh, it's gone wrong. It's gone so wrong. Okay, it's suggested A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. Oh, but I didn't say romance. Oh, that was on me. Okay, so we've got The Christmas Shop by Melody Carlson. It's a heartwarming and sweet story about a girl named Madeline who inherits her grandmother's Christmas shop and falls in love with a man named Nick who helps her save it from being shut down. Oh, that sounds so cute. Right, we'll buy that too. And what I'm gonna go and do is I'm just gonna go and read these books, and then I'm gonna rate them and decide whether or not ChatGPT is a worthy book recommender, or whether you should just ignore everything that it says and absolutely never go to it for a book recommendation. Okay, so I've just been reading The Christmas Shop, which is one of the books ChatGPT recommended to me, and it's not often that I describe something as not very readable, but this is not very readable. It's just a bit of a mess. It's cheesy, it's silly, it's trying too hard, and it just wasn't even an enjoyable read. But if you do want to have a little look, it took me less than an hour to read, so I feel like you'd be able to absolutely tear through it if you wanted to. The main character is just a little bit irritating, that was the big thing, and so were all of the other characters, and the way that the book was written, it was mostly dialogue heavy, so it read a bit like a poor screenplay, like a really crappy one. Like I could imagine it as a really, really rubbish like Netflix Christmas movie. But yeah, it just wasn't enjoyable. It was very stilted, it was very awkward, and it just wasn't a fun read. So the next book I'm going to read is the other recommendation, which is Love, Rosie. And I have high hopes for this one because actually I really do like Cecilia Ahern, and so I feel like it's going to be a good book. Literally just finished, like I'm on the last page. So basically it was a love story written in like letter, message, email format between two childhood best friends, and it spanned from when they were like 7ish all the way through to when they were like 50, and like that's how long so like it took them that long to get together basically, and they had like kids, other relationships, and all kinds of other stuff, and it was just the cutest, like saddest love story. Like I cried like multiple times throughout this book because they kept missing each other, like just missing each other, and it took them so long to get together. And at the same time you have this kind of plot going on with Rosie's daughter that's mirroring Rosie and Alex's plot, but like Rosie's daughter and her childhood best friend managed to get together much quicker, like when they're in their like, I think, early 30s. I didn't think after the first book recommendation and how awful that writing was, I was like, oh, it's literally just a random book recommendation generator. It was like a cozy romance that was like a little bit emotional, which was what I kind of wanted. I'm honestly quite impressed by that. So yeah, feel free to use ChatGPT for book recommendations. I am definitely going to try this again, I think, because it was just kind of fun, but I might go for like a light-hearted recommendation next time. It reminded me a lot of, so yeah, a fun experiment. I will be trying this again, and apparently it can recommend good books, so do feel free to go have a go, and if you do try it out, let me know in the comments if it works for you and what you think of the book that you're recommended. Bye, and I will see you next time on Belle's Books.